Now, Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Mithika Linturi was at pains to explain why a private entity still had a controlling stake of Miwani sugar factory despite the government purchasing all shares 16 years ago. National Assembly Public Investment Committee was baffled that despite the factory not crushing any cane for 23 years, employees have continued receiving salaries.
Documents presented to Parliament by the Miwani sugar factory management show that the national government held only 49% stake of the miller. The National Assembly's Public Investment Committee queried the ownership of the miller as documents from the National Treasury indicated that the government bought back all shares of the troubled miller in 2007.
Any documentation you can table to confirm payment of the Vanessa shares so that Vanessa was supposed to exit in 2007.
And some of the resolutions that were made in this particular meeting was to hand over the documents or transfer various instruments to the Kenya Sugar Board, and one of which is the title is making reference to the original share certificate number 2 for 1,071 shares.
I ask you that question after reading your annexes, and you said clearly that Miwani Sugar, as we talk today, the shareholding belongs to the government, the land belongs to the government. Well, those were your responses. Am I right?
The ownership puzzle, according to the legislators, shielded the miller's books from being audited by the Auditor General as required by the law for 20 years.
From the current receivership, we checked the records. Previous audit were not being done by the Auditor General. And that's a fact. And that's why I'm saying some of these facts may require discussion in camera.
The management affirmed that the 10,000 piece of land at the center of the ownership wrangle is also being transferred to the national government.
As we are talking now, the title deed which was in their custody is now within our custody, both for the nucleus and where the factory is.
Miwani management defended its payroll, saying the factory was still in operation despite not crushing any cane for 23 years. Miwani Sugar Factory is among the 5 state-owned sugar companies that the government is seeking approval from the National Assembly to waive levies and taxes amounting to 116 billion shillings.
It is our business to ensure our house in order as a country, be able to produce enough from our local demand.
Linturi says the waiver is crucial in the leasing process and part of measures that will be instituted before handing over the mills to private investors. Benson Rioba reporting for Prime Edition.